Hey guys, you got Lady Hippy at the bar this morning. Well, it's already afternoon. Pardon me. My body wants it to be early morning. Must be coming up on a time change again. Um, you have to forgive me if I fidget a lot because I'm ending up being I wear all the hats. We'll put it that way. Engineer, music, sound, all that stuff is me. So if you're gonna blame somebody, call me. And I'm trying to figure out what's going on with my account at YouTube. It's been cutting me off midstream, and I fixed it once, and I didn't pay attention to basically how I did that. Went off and looked it up on YouTube and tried this, that, or the other, and something worked. So bear with me if it goes off. It is, of course, for entertainment purposes only. No, I do not make any money doing this. I must say I am not averse to making money. It's a good thing to make money. Let's see. I'm, of course, the lady hippie. Basically, I'm going to be incognito, except for those who know me, and I apologize for that. So, what do we have today? Oh, no, that's why the darn thing says anything or anything and everything, depends on which one you pull up. Um, I generally have something to spout off about. It shocks me how bad America stands, how bad. I'm sorry, I'm fidgeting again because these are supposed to be kind of in camera. Isn't that beautiful? This is the rose my son bought me. It's probably not a good way to see it for Mother's Day, and I just love those. He's got me two others, different types, different sizes. So I'm watching again, and I see that they're running this story. That I laugh through this. Lately, media legacy to me is funny as fuck. Every time I see them, they're bemoaning the fact that they've just picked up 12 more migrant workers, and two of them are guilty of only murder. I mean, and they're so outraged at the they're just picked up off the street. Well, that's how it works. They came into our streets and we didn't know it or we didn't care, but now we kind of care. Mind you, we eradicated smallpox, measles, polio, um, and many others. And these people are coming across unvetted. Apparently, we're giving them everything, including the five-star hotels that none of us can sleep in. If I took five people with me, sleeping bags, even then the hotel catch on and tell you can't do that. I know I worked as a manager for a couple of very nice hotels. You know, the restaurants and pools and all that are included, not to forget the bar. And this is why I'm called Lady Hippie at the bar. My husband decided in his retirement, and he had just cancer, beat for what is it? I can't even remember now. But he had beaten throat cancer. And I figured whatever, and he had been on disability. Now he's in retirement. He still works all the time on people call him his cars broke down, and he'll do it for you buy the part and I'll charge you, $50 versus, taking it over there and they charge him $4.50 and the part. So they love my husband. He's an ace mechanic, and truck driver. For many years and taught, and he was an instructor for long haul driving. So that's some of my background. As a matter of fact, I don't think, yeah, you can't see the flowers I have on my coffee table. He came back in last night. He had run some errands for me, and I was kind of shocked. I was going to go do it. And, oh, no, honey, I got to get gas for the lawnmower. I'll do it. This is at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and he's been working on a car and all that. He's all greasy. And I'm like, really, and he knows how I am, especially to go in public. I look like this when I go to my mailbox because a neighbor, I don't know, somebody might see me. I'm not going to look like shit. I go to Walmart and I'm back in 30 minutes, and it took me 4 hours to get ready to go. The other part I like is I get all cleaned up, and again, a good friend of mine said well, she said that I reminded her of June Cleaver. That dates me and my friend. But I think everybody gets the picture. I do have slacks, so I do wear pants. Jeans, I'm not a young woman. I have some, but they're basically, I like, don't look like jeans. I don't know how that works. I prefer the retro style, just around the mid calf, either with a T style or with the 50 style, wider skirt. You can put on crinolines beneath this, what I say, call them. I'm sure they're not. They're slips of some sort, but it's a cute look. And I looked at my closet, and I had gotten rid of another 4 bins of clothing that either I didn't wear, with what have you. And thought, oh God, I've got enough space because I'm trying to get an idea of what's to do. I've been offered a really top position, and I'm retired as well, but this position would be online, and I would actually be basically looking at different styles and talking about those kind of a little bit like Joan Rivers kind of thing. God help them. So they sent me 10 free gifts, and to rate all these, and so I call it taking the dress for a walk. And this is really quite a lovely dress. um, it's so cute. I have a belt too on. That's my belt. One comes with it. I don't like the little tie belts at my age. They're always coming loose and falling off, and I look ridiculous in them. So I use different type of wideband belts that I love that look too. So again, I think we've gotten to me. I'm a veteran. I've published a book. I've worked my whole life, raised my kids and my grandkids. I'm an Army veteran with 2 grandkids, one child. So again, that dates me because my grandson went through ROTC, and I knew all of his friends. They used to come to my house. Sometimes I would call him my son's name because it's what my son used to do, and now I got my grandson do it. And he actually did his ROTC. He did great. He enlisted. He said he's going to wear grandma's army boots. I was like, oh God, son, there was no words then. I was scared to blooming death they were going to send him to Afghanistan. Luckily for me, he went to North Korea. North Korea. North Korea. He did good. He hated the winters. Because he's been in the South his whole life. He did see ice and snow one time. He was here when the ice storm hit us, and we went outside, and we were wondering what these sounds were, and it was the trees literally exploding from the inside out, and we were like, "What the?" And I'm like, he's 13. He's already well over my height. He's like 6'2". So he has seen it, and a few times it snowed here. And again, he was at my house, so we were making snow angels. On the matter of the ice storm, it took out power and did all that stuff, but it was something to see, I'll tell you. I was really worried because at that time the tornado and hurricane had hit. Really on the move. And taking up too much time. But I'm like, by that point, when the hurricane hit, I had a broken leg. I broke in 3 places. One of the worst ways you could break a bone in your leg. There's only 2 bones in your leg, tibia and fibula. And we're all over the place. We're renovating. I slipped down the stairs here. He had stripped them to plain wood and was sanding them and all that. And apparently, they make a very good slope, which works if you know what it's going to do. But I had no clue, and I went right through there like one of them water park slides until I hit this one, and then the leg went, and you broke it. This is the strangest thing to me. I know instantly when it broke. Well, of course, the pain was a giveaway, but you just knew just before it came at you. And of course, I landed at the bottom of the stairs, still sitting upright. I was like, oh my God, like sitting all. I'm still trying to move the leg because I'm in front of the front door, and there's just a small opening to get in, and then you hit me. If you opened it 2 inches, you would have hit me. And yes, I'm that large. I'm old. You know, yeah, so that was a nightmare, and it took me. The day of the surgery was the day the hurricane hit, and there was no surgery. They then had to source me out to what that's what they call it. I go to the VA. They sourced me out to the University of Augusta, and I saw one of the surgeons. It was about 3:30, and he said, "You've been. This has been a month." And I was like, "Yeah, a month." And that, they don't treat pain, folks. Let me tell you. I was on Lyrica, which helped a tremendous amount, and Anison helped somewhat. And those two things kept me from screaming contiguously. A couple of times they did order a pain pill, one every 12 hours. So this is my husband. I knew it. Hi, let me run back to you. I'm online. Let me holler back. I'm on the. I'm doing my broadcast. Okay. Well, I was just letting you know I broke down on the lake. Wait, you broke down on the road where? On the lake. You broke down on the lake. Yeah, the boat. What happened to the boat? That's right. Huh? It won't start. Oh no. Yeah, I'm about a half a mile from the truck. I done paddled about 2 miles, so. Oh no. Here, I'm thinking you were out having a good time getting fish. Well, I'm sorry, honey. Why don't you give me a call? All right, well, you do your broadcast. I'll be home after a while. Okay, I'm actually doing my broadcast. You're online, so. Okay. Okay, sweetie. Bye. Okay, bye. That was what I mentioned earlier, and I lose train of thought again. That's an age thing. He got out yesterday and he was doing the errands, and I thought, oh, this is weird. You know, when your husbands are being well, actually, it's most of the time it's kind of hard to find a good day. And he comes in and he's got 2 dozen roses. He's done that twice, but I was shocked both times. So he comes in, he's got 2 dozen roses, and he loves to give me yellow roses because when we met, I was down visiting the birth mother, and the birth mother was the person who found me, which happened to be my husband's sister Betty, was married to my half brother by blood. And so it went from there, folks. And that's a book, I'm telling you. So, and now I have one light, and this light here in the studio bar, when my air conditioning kicks on, it dims so much that it almost goes out. No one has figured out why, so we may have a resident ghost. They're welcome to stay as long as they behave. I just so I say I need my bit of courage this morning. When I was growing up, these were called stiffeners because ladies tended to faint in those days. I don't know how they got away with that or even how they managed to do it because I would so love to sometimes. And they'd get the ammonia, break the tab under the, and then they'd have her stiffener ready with brandy, whiskey, whatever they had to hand. So I'm thinking sometimes my mom just decided to print it to faint because she wanted to shut. So, but since I started doing a podcast, I did start in January of 2024 last year. The injury occurred September 10th, and I wasn't even allowed to walk on it. I had massive surgery, lots of steel in there, long story again. And basically, it's easy to say I was out of commission for 9 months. And, no walking on that leg, no putting any pressure on that leg, which is also fun because and you know when you did, you know. So I endured that for 9 months, drove me stupid. I know it's not a far drive, but still. So went in and they said, we got good news. Your x-ray's great. We're cutting you loose and you wear shoes now. And that was my cue to leave. My husband on the way home, redneck. I don't mean that as a, I mean that as a compliment. But he is a redneck. He's a Georgia boy, born and bred. And on the way home, he says, we get out of the house and we come out. I'm still using uh, crutches at the time. And because all they did was, and I still had a camo boot on. They just said you can go home and take that off. You might want to put a little bit of an ace around it if it bothers you. I'm thinking, my leg is broken from my ankle up to just below my knee and then around here, and the ankle bone that broke, so my ankle was nearly disconnected. And so I'm like, I don't want. I don't need a band aid. The scar was still. It took the scar 10, 11 months to heal too. Uh, doubles. So I was a real mess for the last few months, and I let everybody know that I'm back. I'm not really that good. It's what I say is for entertainment purposes only. I did have a couple hundred people, almost 300 people. I love all of you. Thanks for the well wishes from everybody. They mean a lot. They really do. And I'm on my feet. And every day I make something else new to work out my leg because I stopped going to physical therapy. Most of what I was doing, I could do at home. And my VA is only 5 miles away. It's not that. It's just I didn't feel there was a need to do it. I had everything I had to do, and I could do it at home versus doing it there. And I've already done very well. I can walk around. I can even run a few steps. I've been practicing actually with music and doing little the same dance they're doing, like bye bye bye, that they've made famous. The death famous the dance on there, not the dance on there. So there's so I've been doing that, and of course every day I have to clean. It's oh my god, the horror, the horror. My husband had to do everything because I was literally bedridden, at least for 5 months. And I could go like 30 feet to the bathroom or what have you. That's it. Because the leg, you think you're strong enough, you know. I'm on crutches going, catch me, catch me, catch me. I've been using it for like 13 seconds. So, catch. By the time I'd almost worked those out, they gave me, my son called it a walker with wheels. I loved it. I still have it, of course. $1,400. So I'm not getting rid of it. You push down on these certain things, and it's a seat. So you just turn around and sit in the chair or your seat. If you're running around the store, and you just get to be too. Sometimes it's not the pain that stops you; it's the muscles themselves, because all of those had to be cut, and some were cut, of course, by the break. And so there. It's not so much as you're tired, it's that the legs say, bitch. I'm sitting the hell down. And that's what happened. I guess that's why they started making those with seats. So, and the brakes, you put the brakes on, I set the seat there. And I loved it. Every time I went to Walmart, I had to check it all out. Same with Sam's. Hey, can you get that over there? And I'll be right back. Excuse me. People do not get out of the way, and I've got this leg that you can see I'm broken, and they look at you, stay where they are. You're backing up and going, like, ass, That's what you want to say, but they frown on that. So, however, Robert is 70 this year. Mine's coming up. I have got a birthday coming up this month. My husband does, and my granddaughter does. So August is a busy month for us because it's also my husband and mine's anniversary. And I put a wedding photo up on Facebook. Um, those of you who know me can find that. I'd rather not actually tell whoever the other two people watching because I don't know them. Hey guys, but I think I'll keep that within the people on it. I can say we have been married for 35 years now. So that's freaking awesome, I suppose, because we both have bullets. Cheers. Oh. Ah. I like the whiskey. It makes your eyes water. Take these off. Making my head hurt. Wondering how my husband's doing. His poor boat. He just got it ready, and he got it ready. He bought it last year, along with the RV, or right around that time. And our RV is like a wonderland, big. It was also so that he could take me camping. He would be in the boat or what have you, and I could be resting or whatever, watching TV and all the things you can do in there. It hasn't worked out that well since the leg broke. I'm like, nope. I go maybe to Walmart or a few places. Generally, if I go further than that, he's driving because the leg, it's not just a leg that broke, the ankle broke. And they said I do my therapy for at least another year. Excuse me. So I don't want to drive very far because I'm scared. I'm scared that leg might. It's not the leg. It's the ankle that would suddenly go. Trying to pick it up. Nope. And of course, it's my right leg. So driving would be out of the question at that point. See if I talked enough about me. I think everybody knows all that. Again, this is a place for everybody to get up here and talk. Says anything, and don't get stupid. And no hate mail. Act like an adult. Get up here, talk to me, yell at me. Will be frowned on. And hit the like, subscribe. It takes a second. It seems to really help me out to keep my time slot and to keep my own channel. This is my channel, and I do not generally drop videos. If I'm asked, I will put it in the comments, or I'll send a strip and put it, and you can pick it up. Most everyone that I know that watch podcasts, and I know quite a few, they like the ones too that are just talking about this event or that event, and usually with either yourself or another person, maybe sometimes up to three. I've seen a couple up to three, like Joe Rogan. Love that guy. I always do a little shout out to my guys. I'm sure they don't know I exist, but it's still fun and I like them. Mr. Douglas Murray, an amazing man, historian. He's got so much on Israel and what's happening. He was on the ground. See, he was at home in New York when this hit on October 7th happened, and he was trying to fly in fast, and it was so horrific. I was just stunned at the footage I was seeing, and I was stunned. I was like gobsmacked. I was like, "This isn't this. This is evil on fucking steroids, people." And God bless him. He did get there, and he was embedded with the IDF, and so he stayed. I think he said 6 months, and I like him. I like how he talks. I like how he gets to the nitty gritty. I like how he doesn't give a shit what you say to him. He is definitely going to send it back to you, and it's going to be a whole lot better packaged. I love this guy. Shout out to Douglas Murray. There's one more that I had also picked up on. What was? Oh, yes, Professor Victor Davis Hanson. If you get a chance to see Mr. Victor Davis Hanson, it's got to have all that. And again, if you want to know, I'm going to put live chat on too. If you want to know, and you can't find it that way, usually I just Google things. I can even do it on my TV. I think people can do it on their doorknobs outside. I just, it's bad when you think you got to ask your refrigerator where the fucking butter is. I mean, all this AI shit. I wonder what they're going to do when they come up and they go, open the front door. And they go, I don't think so. Why not? I don't think you live here anymore. Some shit. It's going to be wild, I'll tell you that. You heard the phone call. My husband seems to be in a bit of a pickle. So he's paddling the boat back to the truck, and I'm sorry, it's fucking funny. Like I said, he got me 2 dozen roses, so I knew yesterday something was happening. He was looking at the weather a lot. And I said, "What's the roses for?" I had slipped a little in the tub, so my legs black and blue again. It seems to happen a lot. And he said, "No reason, no reason. It just they're pretty. I thought you would like them, and I do. I'm sorry people can't see them. I'll see if I can throw them up somewhere tomorrow. Well, I'll take a picture and put it on Facebook. Not all of you know me, so." And again, I'm really reluctant to say I am so and so, and I live at so and so address because oh my god, the weirdos on this planet don't scare me much. They terrify me a lot, but like, hey, what? I'm an old woman who carries massive weapons. Veteran should really give somebody a clue. It wasn't the WAC Corps. When I enlisted, it was the WAC Corps. When I landed, it was the regular Army, and I had Vietnam Airborne Rangers as drill sergeants. I think that went. My little cigarillos. I do not. I quit smoking, and one of my friends that was here. I almost got him on my podcast. One of my friends was here, and he had a pack, and I said, "Could I try one of those?" I haven't seen him. Basically, I don't know why. I really don't look around, especially since I quit. But I wanted to see if that was similar to what I used to love. And I didn't even smoke cigarettes in Germany, and I just love these little cigarillos, little cigars. And as soon as I got mine from him, my husband had to run out and get me. There's only 5 to a pack, and they go out. And so I might hit it a couple of times and set it down and come back 8 hours later, and then have a little bit more. I try not to smoke, and I've never smoked a whole one because I technically quit smoking. So this is like my compromise because I vaped all those years, but I was really good with my equipment. Robert bought me extra equipment that we just stowed away, so that when I needed it, I could change things out, and that worked good for 10 years. And I do not know what they're doing with them nowadays. They look like a cigarette pack, but like 2 of them. I mean, they're just it's like, what the fuck all is this? For, for vape? No. So now I'm not vaping, and I have a little bit of my cigar, which goes out all the time. See, we stayed up there. The stiffener, like I said, is because I learned that from my mother's knee, literally, even being adopted. There's nothing wrong with being adopted, but I should write another book. I should write it so everybody knows. How do I put this? Run. Blood relatives figure out who you are, change your name, and leave the state immediately. Do a mission fucking impossible. I got some stories that would curl your hair. It ain't never what it's cracked up to be, and it's not worth it. I'll tell you straight. Um, I'm not saying every one of them go wrong, but I have a son, and I was a single parent for many years. And the way I was treated at first was we're glad to see you and all that. A week later, it was a totally different game. Oh my God. Don't get me started. I mean, it was terrible. And I had a son that had to go through that. So if your relatives do look you up, I still say just fucking run. Change your number. Leave that address and change your name. Apparently, you can find anything online nowadays. You know, oh, you can do this. You can look this up and see how bad it was. My curiosity. I was like, I had to look. And I ain't never had a traffic ticket. I had to look this blank. It's like my name. You could answer the questions, and they knew where you had lived since you were born, which I absolutely found fascinating because the records for my adoption were sealed until 2075, I think, way beyond when I'm still supposed to be around. Thank you, Lord. I don't know. That's the other thing. I don't get why folk want to live forever. I see a 90-year-old and they're so waiting to die. And here I've got a birthday coming up again. You don't mind him at first, but after 50, you go, God, slow it the hell down. What the? I just had one last week. I mean, that's what it feels like. What do you mean? Tomorrow's my birthday. You sure? I'm serious to God, going. Oh, here we go again. My husband probably will be in an irritable mood for some time because I generally let him remind him that I expect jewelry for my birthday and anniversary. Those are the 2 days I expect jewelry, and I do mean the real stuff because the other stuff breaks me up. Like poison ivy, it's big and itchy and red, and oh, it's terrible. And so the kids have always used me as their test off on something that they've bought. Did it break my neck? You betcha, almost every time. It means it's just plated. If it's plated, it'll break me out. You can't hide it. It's that nickel base, or I'm not sure what the other. I know there's a nickel base that they use. So I have to have the real stuff. And he's not got far to go because my birthday's at the end of the month. Of course, I get my check too. Being retired, I love it. I all of that, being retired and getting up online, and that started in January. All of that, I had just gotten close to being comfortable doing it, and down I go. And at my age, it was a horrific injury to begin with. But when your other leg can't support you more than 6 seconds, you cannot get around. We have a wheelchair. My husband needed one by the time his radiation treatments had started. And so we could wheel me around, but I had to have someone help me into the bedroom door because of the way it was configured there. And there's two doors into the master bedroom, and there's two doors to the master bathroom. And so they had, I don't know why, but they made them too small. So I would have to jump into those crutches and try to make it was it was 8 steps, trying to make the 8 steps where I could hold on to the bed, which is about this high. So I really had a rough time of it. And I'm glad now that I could do a few things, but I haven't caught up to everything yet. I'm seeing where Britain has somehow, the military has invented something to keep an eye on people and arrest them if they say something they don't like. It's Britain. What can you say? I mean, I can go with you. You kidding me? But they were doing that to us. They've been doing it to us. It was fun to find out. This is, by the way, a little whiskey fireball, little tiny ones. My husband knows that I like a sifter, and he knows I love these little bottles. And he also, of course, knew that I liked the whiskey. And it's kind of hard to find, except these little bottles that are perfect for me. So yes, I do usually finish one of the little bottles. So I'm half cooked by the time I get to the end of my show. And again, those of you who know me, those of you who've seen me, those of you who are watching now, please God hit at least like. It's an algorithm thing, and I'd like to keep the channel because I'd like to see more folks like me actually get up and do something with it, say something. I see thousands of people out. I don't know what they say it's a peaceful thing, but I haven't seen any peace to tearing spray painting books in libraries, tearing up whole campuses. I don't see anything in that except they should have had the beat down by their parents, and the ones that were the faculty there should not be there. And I was watching this not long. It was right after October 7th, and it's just got worse. And you throw the illegal aliens in on top. And I did see a funny one on that. This is how I get sidetracked. I was I'm checking a little bit out this morning, and I like to go to YouTube on the big screen. People use their phones. I don't get that. My nose is itching. Which, by the way, is supposed to mean somebody's coming. I don't know. Let's scratch my nose. I saw where ICE raided I think it was at Home Depot. They pulled up. They were in a Penske truck. I laughed for 20 minutes. They jumped out, and people were running everywhere. Because it wasn't until, of course, that they jumped out that you could tell. Oh shit, they're here. So I couldn't stop laughing. And they're always yelling, "They're taking people off the street." I'm like, "That's their job," and they wouldn't have had to do that had the administration ahead of us not been traitors and commit treason by overrunning our country by people they don't have anything on. I don't know if those people are inoculated, like I said, for tuberculosis, smallpox, measles, typhoid, you name it. They could be carrying all kinds of bacteria in here, not to mention what China is sneaking in to put the crops. That's always fun to hear. Yeah, and I like oatmeal. So, and you might hear it. You get this 3 second blurb on it. I'm not hearing anything about the fact that the Israelis have sent over 100 million meals in. I don't know of an army, including us, that has flown in or drove in, what have you, 100 million meals a week or something. But they're showing people that are emaciated, and they turns out that it was a baby that had a second disease. However, if they are starving, and we know these trucks get hijacked by Hamas, and then they make the people pay for it or they don't get it. And if you're too close and you're trying just to rip it off the truck, they shoot you. They shot a 13-year-old, I think it was 2 weeks ago. He just was trying to get food for his family. And that was the food. UNRWA is doing nothing but paying Hamas, by the way. And they've known that for some time. And it takes a while to build a tunnel or a mess of tunnels, nice, underground. When you're, how do you get your money? It turns out everybody, all the taxpayers, we own it, and it's bigger than the London Underground. It's just, it boggles the damn mind what they've been doing with the money. I love the guy saying we're basically right now throwing gold bars over the Titanic. I'm like, oh my god, trillions disappeared. We're 37 trillion in the hole. We're paying like 500 billion a day in interest. I'm like, how the hell do you get out of that? No taxes on senior citizens unless you look at the form and you can do all the math that is required for you to do. And then there's your taxes at the bottom. Yes, they are still taxing your Social Security. If you don't believe me, go online. Tell me. I actually will, throw it up there. But if not, go online and ask how are the tax. Uh, how does the taxpayer, who's a senior citizen, whose check is not supposed to be taxed, file? Because as far as I can see, I've been taxed. And I was told I wouldn't have that problem no more because I texted, you got taxes from all that 3, 4, 5 different ways, and you don't let me have but this little bit because I surely will die in a few years, and you'll have the rest. That's probably my husband going, oh no, it's my son. Oh dear, I just hung up on him. I went the wrong way. It doesn't look like I'm going to be left quiet with my podcast today. Now, these guys will not show. They will not show up and do this any other time. It's as if they go, "Hey, Mom's doing her podcast. Let's fuck with her." But we will see if we can reach him. Something's wrong again. It's never boring here. It's just never boring. It's not boring. Oh boy. I thought he hit me back, but he's not. Well, I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought again. Hey, hello. I'm in the middle of my podcast. What's up, son?
Oh, it's Zoe's birthday.
Whoa! Okay, Robert's boat broke down, but he'll be in soon. Are y'all doing something this afternoon?
Oh, I just figured you might come over for like cake or something like that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I would. That's why I said I'll be off this afternoon. How about sending me back the details so I know when to be there?
Okay. Right now, Brandy took her and her friend to the mall.
Oh, cool. So probably later this afternoon. I
You
didn't.
are retarded.
I went right past her day and forgot. And I was just saying this. I'm on my podcast just now talking about her birthday, and I had the wrong day. Day. Mom gets her days wrong, son.
I know you do.
I
That's
know
why I
you
called
know.
to remind you.
Thank you, baby. I
You're
like
welcome.
yeah, you will. You can call me or text me and let me know when she's home and what we all want to do.
Yeah.
Awesome. You know I love you to death.
Love you too, Mom.
Call me. Let me know, baby. I will be there. Love you.
All right. Love you too.
Bye, baby.
Bye, Mom.
He's 46, and I thought my granddaughter's birthday was tomorrow, so I'm off by a day. Uh, she's now 14. They grow fast. I moved here to this home. It was my son's starter home, and he had finally gotten custody of his son. And it's a 3 bedroom, 2 bath. And so it was plenty big enough then. But when they found out they were going to have our Zoe, there was a new subdivision that was being built, and they only had up about 6 homes. And the only thing out there, and it was the middle of nowhere, was the highway and Walmart, and a gas station. I loved that. I loved going there. But this is the longest I've ever lived in a home anywhere, being military and so forth and so on. I moved. Always moving. So when I got here, and I warned them, I said, I don't want to leave again. I don't want to pack another damn thing. I'm staying right here. Y'all can't get over it. So I better wrap this up because I need to go and get ready for my granddaughter's birthday. Oh my word. So okay, I give it a few more minutes because Robert's not here yet, and I know I can't leave him out of it. That's not that he loves his granddaughter. We both do. She's his step granddaughter, but it's the same. Did love seeing those guys jump out of a Penske truck. Everybody was freaking out. Then Penske puts up a little thing that says, "We do not allow the use of that behavior in our trucks." So we will be taking legal action, kind of thing. Suddenly they took that down. I don't know. I don't know how that worked out for Penske. Did they charge him more? I loved it. I thought it was fucking awesome. There's a lot going on, folks, that I haven't even touched upon. But give me a break. Give me a break. I like you guys. I love you guys. Hit me up. I got live chat on. Most people either are not a big fan or don't do live chat, or I haven't seen anyone today. If I haven't seen you and you wish to say something, throw it in the comment. See what I can do with it once I find it. Cheers. So now I gotta go get ready because I'm, mind you, at this age, about 3 years ago, just prior to Christmas, I'm told that she's been disappointed by my gifts at Christmas. Okay, I see. Well, we didn't know that. Well, I'd rather have the money. And this child, she knows we both adore her. The sun don't set with her. And so she knows whatever she says is going to go. So every year for Christmas, she gets 50, 60, whatever, 75, I think this year. She was a little older. And because everything had gone up. So now I'm going to have to figure out, I know what she wants. That she doesn't want a present. She wants she wants money. So I'll probably just get her a $50 gift card. So let her go buy whatever. I don't know because these days, in the last 2 years, she has graduated. They've always had a phone with her since she was, I think, still in undergrad. Anyway, so she's got the phone. They have the Apple phones, the ones that cost $2,000. The shit. I have the Droid that costs 4250. I'm good with that. It's a fucking phone. Okay. But for them, it's not. They take a picture of their check. They don't have to go to the bank, send it. If you know what I'm saying, it's wild. And so everybody does everything on their phones. Granddaughter is no exception. She's always walking around the phone. I'm like, "Hi, how you doing?" kind of thing. Or uh-huh. Bit rude. Not how I was taught. You respected your elders. You didn't stick around and play. You did disappear. So every time I go over, which is not a lot, it's not everybody loves Raymond. We are one exit away, and I might see him 12, 13 times a year. Easter, birthdays, Christmas. Both of them have high jobs. I put it that way. They have a lot of clearance, and I've been there and done that. And I didn't see my kid much, so I try not to see them that often so that they have what little life they have outside of work. They don't also have to worry about grandparents. If they need the grandparents, they know how to deal with that. Just like him calling to remind me it was her birthday because he knows I get silly with things like this. I even have it, and that's why it's flash. I have it on my calendar. Half the time I'm up here without my glasses on. And I think, yeah, you can see I always got a headband on because my earphones tend to slide off if I don't put them behind something to hold them there. Don't ask. My time is about up, I see. Mm. So that's going to coincide really great with getting out of the house and going to see my granddaughter. I'm glad I decided to make the time to get up here and say, hey guys, come to the bar, come see me. One way or the other, it's pretty cool. So we talk about anything. I don't give a damn what you want to talk about. You want to talk about the moon is cheese, please go ahead. If you don't like me, oh well. Hit the dislike, get up. Subscribe. It's free, guys. And they really, really, really push that. So and I do have a few, 100. There's something supposed to happen if I got to 1,000, but I can't remember what that was. But I love the fact that I'm even getting views, and I would love it more. I do get a few messages, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate them. Some of them are so funny, and some of them are so sweet. It's very sweet. And I'm new again at this, basically because I took a hiatus as well. I should have while I was, you know, immobilized, taken a few courses or something on it. But I'm not going to be Joe Rogan. I'm not going to have somebody up here because I don't know nobody. And even if I did, this is a small house in suburbia. We're not rich. We own everything, but they're all from like 2020 or something. We own it, but it's not new. And it's been difficult again, even just to get the home clean. I don't even want to go there. It's just men don't clean, or if they do, I wish you would tell me who you are. When he brought me the rose this week, I got distracted. I knew something was up with that, and because that was the second time he brought 2 dozen roses home. Apparently, every time he goes to Kroger, someone sends him to Kroger often. But I knew there was something up there. I knew it. It took him about 2 hours to let me know he wanted to go fishing because it was supposed to rain the rest of the week. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, he beat stage 4 cancer. He's still working basically for extra things that he wants to buy. He works on cars or whoever asks him to do. And he'll even send me the money and say, go do something you want to do. And I love that because we take our bill money out first. So we're always broke when it comes to our retirement checks. There's none of that left. It's got to be supplemented. So it's kind of scary for our future. And I'm sure I'm not the only retiree that says that. So on those notes, I'm a little early, but I'm going to cash off because I got to see how my husband's doing. I got to change clothes, get ready to go to my granddaughter, and figure out how much money I have in the bank to pay them on the way there. So like I said, it's never much money in the bank. Oh, there is, but somebody took it because it's automatic. So, I know exactly what's going to come out. Oh, yeah, all of it. So, if anybody feels like it, come on and join up. Like I said, subscribe. If you don't, that's great. I don't care which way you go. I just want to talk to folks up there while we can still do this. It's the most amazing piece of technology to me, and I've even had the eye surgery and all that. But it's this chat that doesn't cost me anything to whoever. It's going to, I hope, raise a lot of debates. If you don't agree with me, those are the ones I want to talk to. And again, as for the few I called out, you should maybe go visit. You might like them. I think they're awesome people. Um, as far as Joe Rogan, I still love you, Joe, but I was a little disappointed when Douglas Murray came on your show and Dave something really lashed out at Doug, and I was surprised by that because it was on your show. You were still fairly quiet, but a couple of times you also agreed with the friend of yours who was helping with the broadcast. He was actually, you were both the questioners, and didn't seem very fair to Douglas Murray to me. And Douglas barely spoke, and when he did, the other guy was jumping on him again, like he had started starving Gazan prisoners or civilians. It's just unbelievable how the United States, although President Trump, a shout out to that, did take out those nuclear reactors, get them their program set back. I don't know anybody in the world at the time that would want them to do that, but I have since found out that about 10 countries are screaming we wanted to give them and recognize them in NATO and a two-party state. I don't know where they get the fact that the Israels aren't going to go for that, and the Israels already gave them Gaza, and that's what they did to it. That's what they did to it. It wasn't the idea. The Australian Defence Forces didn't do that. They've done that from house to hospitals to schools to mosques. They've done that. And I think you should do it. Douglas Murray's been there. He was embedded. He's been embedded several times, even back in 2014 and so on. And he's worth listening to. If you really want to make a decision and you want to make a decision to tell other people that it's this, that, or the other, you should read Douglas Murray first, and you should not judge other people by your own beliefs. Everybody's different. That's why the United States, and you got to remember, this was on one sheet of paper. It wasn't like the Senate does now, and you have 5,412 for the bill to pass that says, yeah, you can't drive over 70 miles an hour or some stupid shit. You know, think about it. Yeah, and again, I've still said all along too that and I've been angry for years about what they did to General Flynn when President Donald Trump was in his first term. I am still angry about that. They ruined that man who had given his life to the country and then some. And I think that those people should be, no, they should be pilloried, then treated for, they need to be put in prison. They need to be charged with treason. They're traitors, and they need to be charged as traitors. They committed treason. Like Nancy Pelosi is another one of them. She's been there since '86. She's worth $400 million. Huh? You can't tell me there's no insider trading with that bitch, because I'll tell you in a fact that they is. But on that note, everybody remember the fact that we do have people out there that are supposed to be representing us. I love this new thing about they wanted to add 5 districts in Texas, and now I don't know, somebody's run away. I think it's Illinois. I can't keep up. It's like this shit can't happen. But think about some stuff. Run it back to me. Call me. I hear it's cheap. It's free. Throw that shit in the comments. You don't have to talk to me. Just throw it in the comments. I love my guys. Once again, thanks for all the well wishes. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. God bless.